The most popular compact Android phones under 1,000 right now are the Samsung Galaxy S25 and Pixel 9. Each of these two phones has a dedicated fan base. I am more a scientist if you forgot already, and today I'm doing a day in the life comparison of both. To make things even more interesting, I decided to shoot this entire episode on the Galaxy S25 Ultra so you can get a sense of how capable this phone is if you are thinking about starting your own YouTube channel. I know that every time I mention the word compact, some of you argue that these phones aren't truly compact. But this is the best we get these days. The Galaxy S25 is smaller than the Pixel 9 and noticeably lighter. It weighs only 162 grams, making it 20% lighter than the Pixel 9. The Galaxy S25 has a 6.2-inch display, while the Pixel 9 has a 6.3-inch display. Since both phones have extremely thin bezels, they offer a lot of screen real estate compared to older phones from a few years ago. The Galaxy S25 uses an LTPO panel, meaning the refresh rate is adaptive to help save battery life. Meanwhile, the Pixel 9 features the newer M14 panel from Samsung, whereas the S25 is still using the older M13 panel, which is ironic. I put both phones on the same 5G network. For the first test, I headed to the Bears Park to shoot some videos. I'm attaching both phones to a gimbal to track my face. Let's start with Pixel 9. Alright, let's start by Pixel 9, how the microphone sounds like. Let's see the video quality. I'm shooting with the main lens, by the way, not the selfie. And I can move around. Now I'm shooting with the Galaxy S25. There's a train passing by, there's an airplane passing by, there are cars here, it is windy, and also there are birds out there. So if the phone can handle this situation, it can handle any situation out there. It feels to me that the Pixel 9 is by default more aggressive in cutting background noise compared to the Galaxy S25. The Galaxy S25 has a third telephoto camera that the Pixel 9 lacks. If you zoom in a bit, let's say 5 times, you get more detail with the Galaxy compared to Pixel. For example, here you can see the bird more clearly on the Galaxy compared to the picture from the Pixel. Also, with the Galaxy, you have a lot more zoom, whereas on the Pixel, it has stopped at 8 times. The Pixel has a better and larger ultra-wide sensor though, and it also captures more details. Also, the colors on the Pixel, in this case, are more balanced, while the Galaxies are more vivid. With the main lens, the observation is the same. The Galaxy footage is more vivid, while the Pixel is more contrasty. The Pixel footage is more similar to the Galaxy S24 Exynos. What the Galaxy S25 has that the Pixel 9 lacks is the ability to shoot in log, so you can change the colors later in post. I'm super happy with the quality of the log footage from the Galaxy and love it so far. For example, here on the right side, I shot without log, and on the left with the log profile. I decreased the highlight a bit since they were overblown, made the tone more orange, made the scenes slightly warmer, and the result is rather pleasing. It doesn't look like it was shot on a phone. Now let's check the selfie camera. On the left side we have the Galaxy S25, on the right side we have the Pixel 9. The Pixel looks a bit jittery on the viewfinder. I'm not sure if in post it will also look the same. Also, it is really cold out here and I really regret going out. Maybe I should just start doing normal reviews, just staying home like a normal person. I don't know why I'm doing it to myself. It's really cold. By the way, all the footage in this video is being shot with the S25 Ultra in log, including this one. Right now, the S25 has 2% less battery compared to the Pixel 9. Then I let both phones upload the pictures to Google Cloud and also played YouTube in the background. After that, the Galaxy got a bit ahead and is now at 80%, while the Pixel is at 78% battery left. I went out for a quick workout before it got dark and attached the phones to my neck like you see here. With the ultra-wide lens, there are no surprises. The Pixel is producing sharper footage, most likely due to the better sensor size. The Galaxy really needs to step up its game and the camera hardware needs some love. The Galaxy's colors are more vivid compared to Pixel 9. The charging speed on both phones is similar, it is around 25 watts. If you want to never run out of battery, you should also get a power bank. The one I have is from today's video sponsor, Sharge. I've been using Sharge products for a long time and every time they send me a new one, I'm impressed by the quality and the cool see-through design. This one is called the Sharge 140. The power bank is 20,000 mAh, which means you can charge your Galaxy S25 5 times with it. But at the same time, it is compact and can fit anywhere. It has a 40 watts USB-A and a 100 watts USB-C output port. Similar to the other products, you can see the power draw and battery percentage on the color display, which is neat. The design of the product is chic. I'm going to use it daily from now on for connecting my camera or laptop when I'm outside. I'll put the product link in the description. Thanks Sharge for sponsoring this video. Both phones are running Android 15, but the Galaxy S25 has a OneUI on top, which I personally like since it adds some neat features. There are slight differences between the two. I know some people are hardcore stock Android fans, while others prefer OneUI. Also, OneUI 7 looks more similar to iOS from a UI perspective than the Android 15 on the Pixel 9, like the new notification center that is separate from the quick settings. Also, before someone mentions it, I set both phones to the same brightness using a lux meter, so the brightness percentage is irrelevant. They also have a circle to search feature, where you can select an area on your screen and Google performs a reverse image search on it. The Galaxy S25 launched globally with the Snapdragon 8 Elite since Samsung couldn't get enough yield on the Exynos 2500, while the Google Pixel 9 launched with the Tensor G4, which is made by Samsung Foundry. To test performance, I first exported a YouTube video using CapCut. The Galaxy S25 finished the task in 2 minutes and 14 seconds and reached around 38 degrees Celsius, which is around 100 Fahrenheit. The Pixel took over a minute longer, finishing at 3 minutes and 35 seconds and reached 40 degrees Celsius, which is 103 Fahrenheit, making it not only slower but also less power efficient. Then I ran GeekBench, where the Galaxy S25 scored almost double in single-core performance and more than double in multi-core performance. That's a big difference, considering both ones have a similar price tag. I also ran the 3D Mark Wildlife Extreme test. Here the Galaxy S25 got around 6,200, while the Pixel got around 2,500. I know it is just a benchmark, but my experience using both phones is that if you are playing heavy 3D games or simulations, the Galaxy does in fact provide double the performance compared to the Pixel. We are going to test it on Genshin Impact soon. I realized I didn't have Genshin installed on either of them, so I let both phones download 30GB of data on Wi-Fi to install the games. By the time they finished, the Galaxy S25 had 46% and the Pixel had 44% battery left. They both reached around 40 degrees Celsius, which is 105 Fahrenheit. I then went out to do some grocery shopping since I was hungry. For night video with the main lens, the Pixel 9 is definitely doing a much better job. This is not only due to the larger main sensor, but also because the white balance on the Galaxy S25 is horrible. Everything looks yellow, a problem that has persisted on Galaxy phones for over a decade. For pictures, the white balance is better, but the Pixel still captures a better photo with less motion blur. With the ultrawide lens, again the Pixel is doing a better job, both in terms of white balance and overall footage quality. I was also surprised to see that with a telephoto lens and 5x zoom, the Pixel is behind, but still comparable to the quality that you get from Galaxy S25. Again, Samsung needs to give some serious love to the camera hardware for the next generation. There's another thing that Pixel does better in certain shots. The Galaxy has an issue called the banana effect, where anything not in focus becomes blurry, like what you can see here. I get food and went back home to play Genshin Impact for around 20 minutes. The game was set to medium settings and 30 frames per second. I simply didn't want either phones to throttle, ensuring no advantage for battery life. Genshin Impact is a rather heavy game written with Unity 3D, the most popular mobile game engine. By the time I finished playing, the Galaxy S25 was a couple of degrees cooler than the Pixel 9, and the Pixel 9 was also 1% behind in battery percentage. If you look at the temperature chart, you can see how quickly the Pixel 9's temperature rose compared to the Galaxy S25, which indicates a less efficient chipset. Looking at the power consumption charts in watts, the difference becomes clear. The Pixel shown in blue is always above the Galaxy S25, shown in red. The average battery consumption in this test was 28% higher on the Pixel 9 compared to the Galaxy S25. This helps explain why the Pixel 9 with its 4700 mAh battery had the same battery percentage as the Galaxy S25 by the end of the test. The combination of not having a variable refresh rate and not an efficient chipset makes things a bit grim for the Pixel. By the end of the test, the Galaxy had 4 hours and 51 minutes of screen on time, while the Pixel had 4 hours and 40 minutes. This is a bit higher than my usual screen on time in my test because the test was not as intense and I was home most of the day due to the cold. Now the Galaxy S25 has 32% battery left, while the Pixel had 30%. Well played Samsung for providing a subpar chipset to the Pixel so you can win this round. In general, the Galaxy S25 camera in my opinion does a better job during daylight. That combined with having log makes it the perfect content creation tool. The phone is also noticeably more compact and light than the Pixel. The Galaxy also blows the Pixel out of the water with the great performance. It wasn't even close. It also showed better thermals. On the other hand, the Pixel had better night photography and videography. If you enjoyed this video, you can watch the day in the life comparison of Galaxy S25 versus iPhone 16 next. Thanks for tuning in to TechMo, and I will see you in the next one.